So you're finally done with your character sheet, but you don't even know what your guy looks like? Don't worry, I got you. Here's my perfectly foolproof plan on how to design your D&D character, with most of it being, your usual character design tips, while I redesign my own character Ruby in the background. So step number 1 is to look for some inspiration, and like many other artists, my go-to place for inspo is Pinterest. But instead of just looking up your character's race, class, or background, my favorite keyword to search up is Ren Fair outfits. In my opinion, it's better to reference IRL photos so that way you know your outfit is plausible. And remember to take into account more than just your race and class. Think about your character's upbringing. What's the climate of the setting? Were they raised wealthy or poor? What's their culture? If you don't know the answer to some of these questions, try to flesh out their backstory more before designing them. Another thing you can do is to play around in customization in video games or doll makers like PicCrew and just mess around until you come up with something you like. This is really helpful for having a proper visualization of your character before even putting pen to paper. If you have a basic idea of what your character looks like by now, good! Now you can start making a proper reference for your D&D character. First of all, have more than one source of inspiration. If you base it after only one image, then your character design won't be unique. And if it's a drawing, you risk copying off of another artist's design. What you should do instead is have a collage of everything you want in your character design. And once everything is combined, the character will be unique to you. Something very important about character design is that it tells a story about a character before the audience even knows anything about them. I'll use Ruby here as an example. She's cutesy, but has a little bit of an edge to her. You can see this in the shape language I chose being mostly comprised of circles and triangles. Her hair is put up in pigtails to show that she's childish, but her undercut shows that she's got a little bit more of a rebellious side. And this is all stuff you see at first glance. When you find out her backstory, her character design enhances it. See, Ruby's a princess who left her life in the castle to become a rogue, and that's noticeable in her design. When you think of rogues, you normally think of people who steal in order to get by, but Ruby's the exact opposite of that. So if you only know that she's a rogue, her design makes you ask questions, like why does she have so much gold? Or why is her clothing so finely tailored? Parts of her design also allude to her backstory, like how her spiky headband is supposed to be a crown, and the insignia of her kingdom that's around her cloak. So try to add in small hints of her character story in the design. This obviously varies greatly based on the character, but think of small details like battle scars, broken horns, gray hairs, stuff that changes a generic adventurer to a person with history. Now on to our final step, coloring. For me, coloring is my favorite part of the process because it feels like doing a puzzle. It can be challenging, but it's fun to see where the colors fit in to make a good palette. Some colors will be obvious, like if you're making an orc, you're most likely gonna make their skin green. But sometimes it can be difficult, especially when you don't know where to start. My go-to for making a harmonious color scheme is to have a set of colors that go nicely together, usually in an analogous color scheme, and then have one or two pop-out colors as accents. The colors you pick should complement the story setting, but not blend in too much with the background. Just as the character's environment affects what they wear, it should also affect the colors they're wearing. A druid is more likely to wear more earthy tones, while rogues or warlocks are gonna have a lot more black. This is just my personal process though, so I recommend doing your own research into color theory and symbolism in order to design your character. So that's usually how I go about designing characters. If you clicked here clueless as to how to design yours, then I hope this video helped. Maybe tell me something about your own character in the comments, or if you have any other tips, you could comment those down below too. Anyways, thanks for watching! Bye!